Hey, what's up everyone? My name's Wes, Wizard with the Finger Pistols, and in today's video we are talking feats. We're talking all of the feats in Velda Spire secrets, including those with the Gunslinger. So let's go. First up, we have Brutal Grip. That's going to require being 4th level and having a strength of 13. It's going to increase your strength by 1, so if it's at 13, it rounded up to 14. The first feature is called Heavy Duelist, and this is going to let you wield a 2-handed melee weapon in one hand. So yeah, that's pretty cool for you, those guts cloud type characters. Then its second feature is versatile dual wielder. Yeah, versatile dual wielder. And what that's gonna let you do is if you have a weapon with the versatile property, while you hold that weapon in one hand, it counts as having the light property. So now you have long swords, war hammers, and battle axes counting as light. There's a lot you can do with those features. I mean, just having a one-handed weapon or a heavy weapon counting, being allowed to wield it in one hand. I'm just thinking of pairing that with dual wielder, but not the new version of dual wielder, the old version. Honestly, in my games, when you take dual wielder, like the new updated version, you also gain the old version as well, just because the new version is worded in a way where it just doesn't make that much sense. So I just say take both versions. I don't care what's in your hands, you have dual wielder, as long as it's not a two-handed weapon, except in this case, because if you already took dual wielder and now you're taking this one, yeah, what you wield whatever you want to your heart's content. I don't care, it sounds great. Live your fantasy, do you. Our next feat is called Feild Commander. It's got a prerequisite of level 4 and a 13 charisma, and it's going to increase your charisma by 1. It's funny because, you know, unless your group actually assigns a party leader, then most of the time there is no leader, so having a commander in your party sounds kind of weird, in my opinion. I mean, if you're going with the theme, like my character currently is going to become the future Queen of Barovia because they are marrying Strahd. Long story, long campaign, and well, I just recently had them take Inspiring Leader because, well, they are an inspiring leader. They are becoming a leader. But their first feature, Command, is going to allow you to, as an action, command an ally within 60 feet of you to take an action as their reaction. However, the action that they can take is limited to similar how the new haste spell is worded. They can make an attack, but only one. They can dash, dodge, hide. They can take the influence action, the search action, the utilize action, or the study action. You're probably like, why would I want to give up my action? Well, sometimes the best thing for you, or the only thing you can do, is take the dodge action. Like, let's say you're just not sure what to do, so I'm just going to take the dodge action. So you could just do this instead and have your rogue make another sneak attack, or whatever else. Yeah, you could just take the, what's it called? Commander, Knight of the Crown feat from Dragonlance, or you could just be a battle master and have that maneuver also. However, once again, this is just like, those are bonus actions, which are still kind of leave you, oh, you could just take the dodge action after you bonus action do one of those, but this allows more than just making one attack. Like I said, they can dodge, dash, hide even. But the second part of this is tight formation. While you are within 5 feet of 2 or more allies and they're not incapacitated, enemies can't gain advantage on you. Enemies can't have advantage on attack rolls against you. Pretty cool. I mean, it's really good if you're a paladin because if your allies are within 5 feet of you and you're level 5 or higher, you have your aura of protection. Also bad because then you are subject to things like fireball, lightning bolt, dragon breath. A lot of fun things the DM could do while you're in this tight formation. Our next feat is called Focus Critical. This is just, you just need to be level 4 or higher. It's going to increase your dexterity or strength by 1. Then you have Improved Critical. Yeah, your attacks and rolls with weapons and unarmed strikes can score a crit on a 19 or 20. when you roll a d20. There's a lot of features that already give you this, but if you don't have it, well, then here you go. I'm just thinking like Hexblade can crit on a 19 or 20. The Champion Fighter can crit on a 19 or 20. There's a bunch of class features that can already do this. If yours can't, then well, here's a feat for you. Now we have Mage Adept, the reason for my intro, and if you read the prerequisite on D&D Beyond, it's ridiculous. It literally states like a level of every type of spellcaster, even including the Blood Hunter. But honestly, it should just say, dude, it's like the list is a huge paragraph, and I don't know why they did this when it could just literally say spellcasting or pack magic feature as the prerequisite. Yeah, it's literally, I think it's just broken on D&D Beyond. Ignore it, because right underneath it, it literally says level 4 spellcasting or pack magic feature required as a prerequisite. But you're going to gain an increase to your dexterity, not your int, wisdom, or riz. You're just going to like gain a bonus to your dexterity. So you are going to gain a cantrip, finger guns, and then you're also going to gain the Gunslinger, Spellslingers spells. They're going to be added to you as an expanded spell list, and you get to prepare a number of these free, equal to your proficiency bonus, and when you level up, you can swap them out for a new one. There's literally like 8 of them, so with a proficiency bonus of 6, you can have most of them. Now, this next feat, I can see a lot of DMs banning, because it is 1, metagaming, 2, game breaking, and that is Iron Hero. Prerequisite, level 4, increase your strength or dexterity by 1, and its first feature is Underdog Resolve. When you are attacked by a creature that CR is higher than your current level, you gain a +2 bonus to your armor class for that attack. Now, it says for that attack, so I don't know how you activate this. Is this an always on thing? But either way, knowing a creature CR is not information a player knows. Therefore, this is metagaming. Like hardcore metagaming. I don't even think the new Hunter Ranger has the ability to find out a creature CR. I don't believe the old, which fighter was it? I think it might have been the Battle Master who had a way to find a creature CR. And I don't believe that Monster Slayer Ranger's ability lets you find out a creature CR. I don't think there's any class in the game that lets you find out a creature CR. It's like legendary resistance. You can say they're going to burn their legendary resistance, or you can flavor it as it has no effect for some reason, or the creature shrugs it off. Our next feature is called Vengeful Strike. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that has basically downed one of your allies. If it dropped one of your allies to 0 hit points, like since the end of your last turn, you can then have advantage on attack rolls against that creature. It doesn't say if your ally comes back up, you lose advantage, but I mean, it's called Vengeful Strike, so that's not that bad. The next part though, Heroic Intervention. Proficiency bonus times per day. You can just stop a legendary action, which is the only way boss monsters have a way to keep up with the action economy against a party of players. So this is the game breaking one, and once again, very metagamey. Are you gonna always ask, is this a legendary action? Is this a legendary action? You could just be like, no, this is a reaction. Or actually, in this case, it's a mythic action, not a legendary action, because some creatures have mythic actions. Those are typically like CR 30 though. Like these are god level, demigod level creatures that have mythic actions. But just being able to stop a legendary action, I would probably do this once per long rest instead of proficiency bonus per long rest. And the other part, the Underdog's Resolve, I would treat it the same way as the Vengeful Strike. When one of your allies is downed by a creature, then you gain a +2 to your AC against from that creature that just downed one of your allies. This is too metagamey. I wish there were like designer's notes or editor's notes with this feat, but there aren't. I need to know what they were thinking. Our next feat is Marksman's Luck. That's going to require level 4 and dexterity 13. It's going to increase your dexterity by 1. And this one has a pretty cool ability called Flip Die. So once per turn, when you're rolling damage with a ranged weapon, so example, like if you're doing a D8 damage, and that's a horrible color to try to use on camera. If you're have a D8 damage, right? So, when you roll, you can then choose to use the bottom number on your dice, and you're kind of questioning why. Well, anything that's not you can do this on anything that's not a D4. And because of balanced dice, its opposite number is typically going to be the higher side. So you want to do this basically if you roll 4 or lower on your attack die, because a 1 changes to an 8, 2 to a 7, 3 to a 5, 3 to a 6, and 4 to a 5. So it's just one way of increasing your damage. And you can do this, there's no limit to how many times you can do this. Then we have enhanced critical. When you score a critical hit on a creature with a ranged weapon, the target speed is reduced to 0 to the end of its next turn. So a little bit of mental upkeep there. But once again, on a D8, if you roll 4 or lower, you're going to want to use it. On a D6, 3 or lower, you're going to want to use it. And D10, 5 or lower, D12, 6 or lower. This is when you're going to want to use these features, and it's not applicable on a D4 because a D4 is a triangle. Pyramid. Triangle. The final feat we're going to talk about is Weapon Mastery. The Gunslinger's Weapon Masteries, though. So, if the firearms from Velda Spire Secrets are available in your campaign, you can take this feat, gain proficiency, simple and ranged martial weapons. So if you're like Swords Bard or Hexblade, well no, Hexblade gains proficiency. Maybe you're a cleric and you want to start toting guns around. You can be from, if you're in the Forgotten Realms, the Lantern Gnomes. They're the ones who introduced and created the first firearms in that campaign setting, I believe. And they have like gun clerics. But either way, so you gain proficiency and weapon mastery. You can choose a weapon mastery from one of the firearms, and whenever you finish a long rest, you can swap out that weapon mastery. So you could have a parlor pistol one day or a blunderbuss the next day, depending which actual level of firearms are available in your campaign. That's it for today's feats. We know that Velda Spire Secret actually has over 50 feats available to it if you have the full version purchased directly from Mage Press. However, D&D Beyond seems to be splitting it out. You don't have to pay $60 at once, but you're going to be paying $14.99. It's actually way cheaper than I remember. Hopefully they all make it, along with all of the classes from Velda Spire besides just the Gunslinger. Maybe Player Pack Part 2 will consist of all the other classes. That'd be super cool. But either way, thank you guys for watching. I've been Wes, Where's the Fun? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more D&D, Warhammer, and other tabletop games. Bye.